Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 956, the category, the Final 50 Trivia Challenge. Today is part 45. Today's quiz was sent in from Daniel B. from Iloilo City in the Philippines. I know you guys think it's as cool as I do that not only do we have people from all over the world watching this channel, but actively participating by sending in trivia quizzes like this one today. Good luck on today's quiz. Question number 1. Commissioned and carved during the reign of Ptolemy V, what relic of huge historic importance was written in 2 Egyptian languages and 1 Greek to reflect the 2 main bloodline dynasties of Egyptian history? The answer is the Rosetta Stone. Question number 2. This pandemic had spread across Europe, Asia, and North Africa from 1346 to 1353, resulting to a death toll estimated from 25 million to 200 million. What was the term for this plague, which is considered the deadliest pandemic of all time? It was known as the Black Death, or the bubonic plague. Question number 3. This move in chess can only be done once in a game and involves moving the rook and the king for the king's protection. What do you call this special move which makes the king safer behind a wall of pawns? That move is called castling. Question number 4. In the year 105 AD, in which country was the first sheet of paper made by soaking bark, old cotton rags, and hemp into a uniform fibrous soup, placing the pulp in a frame under pressure from large clamps, draining the water off and drying it? We're looking for the country. That country was China. Question number 5. She was raised in Vietnam by a peaceful alien Cree. She trained in martial arts, teaming up with the original swordsman. When the swordsman was killed, she left Earth, but she returned to help out when the Scarlet Witch went crazy. Who is this member of the Guardians of the Galaxy? Her name is Mantis. Question number 6. What was the title of the popular song from Led Zeppelin's studio album, Led Zeppelin II, where Robert Plant sings of a character Golem and a place, Mordor, from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings? What was the name of that song? That song was called Ramble On. Question number 7. While attending a performance of the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., President Abraham Lincoln was shot in the head by which disgruntled actor? The answer is John Wilkes Booth. Question number 8. What is the name of the one and only feline to have ever successfully ventured into outer space aboard a Voronic AGI French-sounding rocket launched from a base in the Sahara Desert on October 18, 1963? I believe she made it to space and back. The cat's name was Felicity. Question number 9. During 2nd century CE, he created a new system of astronomy where the planets move in various spheres. Who is this Alexandrian astrologer who believed that the movements of the stars and the planets have a natural influence on all creatures? This 2nd century astronomer was Ptolemy. Question number 10. Equally cunning and capricious as some characters in the Netflix series Ozark, this character transforms from a repressed, depressed homekeeper of the bird family to a worthy adversary of their cartel boss. What is the name of this character played by Laura Linney? Her name is Wendy Bird. Question number 11. While working for Spain, this explorer led the first European expedition to go west and reach Asia, passing through a strait that was eventually named after him and crossing the Pacific. Who is this Portuguese explorer who was killed at the Battle of Mactan in the Philippines? The answer is Ferdinand Magellan. Question number 12. This film made Dustin Hoffman a star at the age of 30 and became one of the biggest hits of the 1960s. What is the title of this film where Hoffman's character was seduced by cougar Mrs. Robinson and then falls in love with her daughter? That movie was called The Graduate. Question 13. In his book, Elements, he described the golden ratio in terms of lengths on a straight line, which is cut in two so that the ratio of the entire line to the longer length is the same as the longer length to the shorter. Who is this ancient Greek mathematician? The answer is Euclid. Question number 14. This country used the colors green, gold, and black in its flag to symbolize agriculture, sunshine, and strength, respectively. This country's flag is also the only flag in the world that does not have one of the colors red, white, or blue. What country is this? Green, gold, and black is Jamaica. Question 15. In criminal law, this was sparked by the case of Joe Velacchi, who in 1963 was the first senior member of the Mafia to detail its inner workings. In return, even in prison, he was given official protection. What was the name of this program? We now call it the Witness Protection Program. Question 16. She was the daughter of Zeus and Demeter and had become the eminent resident of the underworld after she was abducted by Hades. Who is this divinity whose time in the underworld symbolizes the temporary death of winter and whose time in the upper world symbolizes the return of fertility every year? Her name is Persephone. Question 17. These concepts are used to classify all things in the world, such as night and day, old and young, and weakness and strength. What are these two forces within nature that in Chinese philosophy are believed should be equally balanced to prevent chaos in the world? Those two forces are Yin and Yang. Question number 18. Occurring in 1883, what is now considered as the loudest sound in historical record at an estimated 300 plus decibels, and that was even reportedly heard as far away as 3,000 miles from its origin in Southeast Asia? The event that made that sound was the explosion or the eruption of Krakatoa. Question number 19. Located on the Ring of Fire, the arc of volcanoes running through the maritime Southeast Asia and in the path of violent tropical storms, what country consists of 7,600 islands, of which only about 2,000 are inhabited? The answer is the Philippines. Question number 20. Set in 1274 on an island in Japan, this video game created by Sucker Punch features the last samurai, Jin Sakai, who must master a new fighting style, the Way of the Ghost, to defeat the Mongol forces and fight for the freedom and independence of Japan. What was the title of this video game? The answer is Ghost of Tsushima. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you everyone who watched today's episode of Road TRIpVIA, and special thanks to Daniel who submitted today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. He wrote the quiz. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, Daniel is from the Philippines. We only have a very small percentage of our viewers that are from the Philippines. In fact, last time I checked, it was less than 2. It was between 1 and 2% of everybody who watches Road TRIpVIA are from the Philippines. So what a small number, and the fact that we got somebody like Daniel to submit a trivia quiz for the Final 50 challenge, I just think that's very awesome. I should have done a little bit more research on the people who've already submitted quizzes, because I didn't ask everybody where they were from. I always love to see how many different states we get submissions from, how many different countries we get submissions from. As a kid from a small town in America, I'm always blown away by how many people from around the world, how many different countries watch and participate in this channel. Truly humbled by everybody who watches, comments, likes, and participates. I think we've got a good thing going here. I'm really enjoying writing these quizzes. I'm really enjoying putting together these episodes, even of the ones where the quizzes are submitted by the viewers. I can't wait till we get to 1,000 just to hit that important milestone, but then we will be going above and beyond the 1,000 episode mark. So stick around with us. Like I said, if you want to subscribe to this channel, we do quizzes like this normally every day, but a little bit recently it's been every other day or every couple of days, and then sometimes we do multiple quizzes per day. So we will get back on track eventually once I get settled into the new house, and yeah, then it'll be back to the once a day trivia quiz. Alright, enough rambling. Here is question 21, the tiebreaker for today. This genre of music started out of the Seattle music scene at the end of the 80s and early 90s. What is this musical genre which is used in some albums like Bleach and Nevermind by Nirvana, Super Unknown by Soundgarden, 10 by Pearl Jam, and Dirt by Alice in Chains? This popular musical genre from the 80s and 90s out of Seattle is called grunge. Thank you for watching. Check back later for part 44 of the Final 50 Challenge.